Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 here in Memphis, Tennessee, and all you folks in Brownsville, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, talking outdoors for 90 minutes every Saturday morning as we roll into our 18th year on the air. Shelby McCall is taking all those phone calls for our guest as our show producer, and then I have my good friend and the webmaster for the award-winning LROutdoors.com, our website. That is Guy Treebold. Good morning, Guy.
Good morning, Larry.
And I know you're anxiously wanting to hear about this Mr. Twister over there, hadn't you? Yeah. What do you have over there in that sack? What is that? What bait is that?
These
I like the way it sounds. Do that again.
Mag 12 buzzworms.
Well, we got the guy on the line.
That's a 12-inch worm.
It is. Golly, that's a long way. Them 6 inches I used to use. All right. We got the man that can talk all about it. And you know, of course, Mepps has been in the squirrel tail business for I don't know how many years. And we talked several times about that, about the squirrel tail program that they have. But Mr. Twister's been around for a while, and one of our recent guests on this show, Clint Davis, he used that Mr. Twister Mag 12-inch buzz worm to win, I think he won the FLW Cup, if I'm not mistaken, on using that bait. But we have with us this morning Josh Schwartz. He is with Mepps and Mr. Twister out of Antigo, Wisconsin. Good morning, Josh.
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we always like to talk to somebody from Antigo. You know, because the man that you followed was there forever, and now my mind went blank. Who was my squirrel man up there forever?
Jim Martinson.
Yes, Big Jim. Yes, love Jim and talked about it all the time. But appreciate you joining us on this Saturday morning. Let's talk first, Mr. Twister here, because you know I don't know the background of Mr. Twister. It's been around for a while, right?
Yeah, correct. It has been since the 70s.
Since the 70s, not 1870s, guys. Now, guys pulling out the 12. Look at the size of that thing. It's amazing. Josh, tell our listeners a little bit about how Clint Atkins, how was he able to, Clint Davis able to use this thing?
Well, that worm was developed for structure fishing and for fishing deep brush piles, and that's exactly what Clint was fishing on Ouachita. And he was fishing it on a swing head, half-ounce swing head, to drag it through the brush piles. And he had a certain technique where he let it fall. He was fishing it slow, and that technique, it was money for him.
It was money for him, and I'm assuming it was money for Mr. Twister too. I mean, it helps that one of your baits is used to win the FLW Cup, right?
Right. Yeah, him and Albert Collins, they both helped develop the Mag 12 buzzworm. So to have him win a tournament of the Mag 12 buzzworm, it's very special. And again, it was developed for that specific reason, and it shows how effective that worm is for that type of fishing.
Well, I've fished many times on Ouachita over there, and I never thought about using a 12-inch. And that's a purple. Is that?
No, this is called plum apple.
Oh, I knew it couldn't be called purple. It just
there is
no purple.
The names are very elaborate.
See, that's what I wished I'd have been in the life, Josh. I would have been the person that named the fish baits, and the colors too. So that is called what again?
That is plum apple, and that is
the
same color that Clint used. We have 11 colors for the Mag 12 buzzworm.
You have 11 colors, but they're not named they don't just say purple and green and chartreuse over those anymore. But so, what did that do for Mr. Twister when he won that? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, over the years, Mr. Twister has developed a lot of great bass baits. So
yes,
I feel like it boosted the reputation, and it shows the quality of baits that Mr. Twister has, especially in the bass line.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize the bass line because you do have. The line for panfish too, right? I mean,
absolutely, yeah. We have a micro series, a micro nymph. There's the Helgramite, there's the macro shad, and of course the teeny and the meanie. Those are all great panfish baits.
Yeah, and that's what I've used over the years. I never thought about. And I used to think when it was an 8-inch worm, it was long. This thing is, that's somebody's big shoe size right there when it comes down to it. And looking at it like that. But so switch over from Mr. Twister, and you do have some. We got anything coming up new from Mr. Twister we need to mention on the air here?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the 6.5-inch Tri-Light Nightcrawler.
Okay.
That's a tri-colored. It's tri-laminated, so there's 3 colors in one bait. The mold was developed so we could do that, and a lot of unique colors there. That worm was made to be buoyant, so it's great for shaky head fishing. It's good also for wacky style fishing, Texas rig.
Texas rig, yeah. That's I think that's what I would use. I'm just not sure how I'm going to handle a 12-inch. That's why I'm going to let Guy take it in the field. And Guy, don't hook that up. Don't lose any of those.
I just want to be ready.
You're going to be ready. I can tell you that and everything else. But from the Mr. Twister side, let's go over to the squirrels. We talk about this. Is there anything else in Mr. Twister we need to mention before we switch to squirrels?
Yeah, there's a platinum curly tail that is on the market, and that's a new. It's got ribs on the tail, which produces a streamlined swimming action. Great for walleye. Comes in 2 sizes: 3.5-inch and 4.5-inch.
Okay, I like that.
Also, it's all bloodline colors, so a great color selection again, and really, it's a swimming action that distincts that bait.
Well, we're coming into the winter, and a lot of these baits work good in the winter. You just got to slow it down when it gets to it. And I know you guys, being Antigo, tell our listeners where is Antigo, Wisconsin.
Well, Antigo is in the central part of Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's known as the Northwoods. If you're in Wisconsin,
going
to Antigo, you're going to be people are going to know that to be the Northwoods or the up north.
Up north, where winter comes early, right?
Yeah, we got snow already. Last week we got some snow.
Did you hear that, Guy? They got snow last week. We were in the 90s, and all of a sudden we woke up and we were 48 below. It felt like here in Memphis. And so we get all of our bad weather from up north where y'all are. I mean, y'all are used to it. We're not used to it down here. But and then speaking of that, the squirrel program. It's gone on forever. I'm not sure how long. Explain that to our listeners that you can actually benefit the industry through the harvesting of a squirrel. So tell our listeners a little bit about the Squirrel Tail program.
Absolutely. So the program itself has been around for more than half a century.
That's right.
And it's a program where it's conservation oriented, and to that, instead of wasting a valuable resource, it's a program that allows hunters to recycle that resource, send it over to MEPS, and helps us make lures. So essentially, hunters get to help make a MEPS lure, and then as a benefit and as a plus of the program, we do pay for squirrel tails, or we offer the opportunity to trade squirrel tails, and that doubles the value, and they can trade for lures that way.
Well, it's a program that's been around a while, and I know. What have you seen for as participation in this program? How long have you been there with the company?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. There's just not as many squirrel hunters as there was before. We all know that, and most of us grew up squirrel hunting before we ever did any other type of hunting. So the program itself remains in place, even though you probably don't have the numbers of tails that you used to get.
Yeah, that's correct. We like to get 300,000 squirrel tails a year, and we're lucky if we can get half that. And that's the purpose of us getting the word out, spreading the word, and making it known that.
Well,
don't be wasteful.
Yeah.
It's a great program because it allows hunters not to be wasteful of any part of the product. They eat the squirrel meat, and then they send us the tail. So the squirrel is used in a useful way.
It is, and the tails are used. You mentioned what lures or what would we do with a squirrel tail? Where do they end up?
So the Black Fury line, that's a popular line. That's a beloved product that MEPS has, and that uses squirrel hair. The MEPS Aglia,
yes,
and even some of the musky lures use squirrel hair too. The Muskie Killer, the Magnum Muskie Killer, and the Giant Killer. If you get the non-tandem version, that's for brown fox squirrel is used for that, and also gray squirrel.
Well, of course, you've already lost my listeners when you said muskie. They think it's something that smells, musty. But
musky
a muskie is part of the pike family, right? I mean, is it?
Right.
So
Esox, yeah.
Yeah, and so you guys have that up there. But, folks, I know right now we're getting close to the deer season. A lot of us have spent time in the woods squirrel hunting and looking for other things. So if you harvest a squirrel or two, or as I was noticing, I was talking to Josh, if you get 5,000 premium tails of the gray fox and the black squirrel, that's 26 cents each. So all you great squirrel hunters out there, I can't imagine what it would be like to ship FedEx up there with 1,000 squirrel tails in a box.
It wouldn't be very heavy.
It wouldn't be very heavy, would it? No. But you do have people that have been doing this for years. I know 2 or 3 guys here that have been doing this program forever, and it's not really about the money. Right, Josh? I mean,
well, that's just right. And it's just the fact that we're able to pay out for tail it's a plus of the program, because the main part of the program is to recycle a valuable resource, and it's a conservation program, and it's a way to get the younger generation involved with hunting, and squirrel hunting is a challenge.
It is.
When you squirrel hunt, you can learn skills to hunt deer after that.
Yes.
And
then
they're good eating too. I mean,
love them.
Dark meat. It's juicy. It's like the dark meat of chicken. It tastes good.
Well, this guy has actually seen. I'm with you on this, because a lot of people say, I don't want to eat no squirrel. It's just remember the rodent family. Hey, come on now. If it's handled right, I'll even eat a raccoon. Okay, so I make sure of that. But it is part of it. Josh, thank you for being with us. Guy is going to try these worms out in the field.
Maybe today.
And if he does well, we'll send you a picture of Guy if he'll let us.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have a photo gallery on both Meps and Mr. Twister.
They do, Guy. You hear that?
Pictures too.
I'm in.
Oh,
and then could I mention something about shipping?
Yes.
We talked about shipping, but it may sound obvious, but it's best to ship us squirrel tails in a cardboard box, not in a plastic bag, and in the smallest box possible is what we ask. It'll keep the shipping costs low. Well, anything over 50 tails, and the shipping is reimbursed.
Really? Okay. All right, you guys. I know some squirrel clubs in Memphis area here and everything. Josh, thank you for being with us, buddy, and continue the good work up there with Meps and Mr. Twister, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
All right. Well, thanks for having me again, Larry.
Oh, it's always good to talk. Tell everybody hello up there in Antigua, okay?
Okay, will
right.
do.
Thanks
again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Antigua, Wisconsin. I just love saying that word. But it doesn't. It makes me feel like I'm in the Caribbean someplace. Antigua.
Yeah, like Antigua.
Yeah, that's what I feel like and everything. So try those things out.
Done.
And what was that color again?
Plum apple.
Plum apple. I hope it's plum good. Okay, when
I
you
know.
use it
we
like
use
that.
the word plum like that.
We do that.
It can be confusing.
And plum is on the line
Look,
too.
I worked at I worked at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I was in the fishing department. And
yes, you were.
Yes, the number of colors of these, it's just massive,
isn't it? Yeah.
And I used to have to stock the shelves.
You used to know.
I mean, it took forever
because they come in different colors, different names. But I like that. That's the Mag 12, right? It's 12 inches. Buzzworm. Okay.
Got a unique tail.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. I can't wait to hear Guy Trebo with a picture of a big bass caught with that.
And it'll go all the way to Wisconsin.
It will. Okay. We'll be right back.